Welcome everybody to another episode of Latifs Inspired. Today I'm going to show you a very simplified version of a base gravy. On my last video, the mushroom madras, it was a vegan dish, and I also asked you guys if you would like even more simplified base gravy. I've already got two base gravies on the channel. One exactly how I do it in the restaurant. I also made another simplified version, but this one's going to be extremely simple. If you want really fresh food at home, you don't need to cook a massive batch, which we've got like these big massive pots which is cooking behind me, so you can cook for 2 curries to 4 curries. So it's really simple really. So I'm not going to use any cream, butter, etc. So it can be used as vegetarian, vegan style dishes as well as your meat dishes. So make sure, if you like what I do, and I'm very grateful of your support guys, I really appreciate it. This humble channel has grown and we've smashed it over 250,000. I still can't believe that. My humble little channel, I enjoy showing you guys what we do, and I think the British Indian restaurant scene needs a bit of help because we're struggling, finding staff, etc. We're doing quite well. We've got a fantastic team, and people have been coming, watching the channel and been coming to the restaurant, and they're enjoying what we do. Make sure to like, share and subscribe my content, and hopefully you enjoy what I do, and I'm making changes for your lives as well. So little tips, and if we show you how you can get the most amazing flavor of food. Everybody's got ingredients at home and everybody knows how to cook a bit, but no one knows how to make it special. I hope from my expertise, I've been in this trade for a very long time, I'm trying my utmost to give you the best recipes and tips so you can enjoy the food at home as well guys. So watch till the end, and remember, like, so it helps the algorithm push the video up, and share my content, and most importantly, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe and enjoy my inspired army.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Right people, as I said, I'm keeping it nice and simple. So I'm just going to use 3 tomatoes, half a green pepper, 1 carrot, 2 onions. I've made a little spice blend. I use my mixed powder. However, this one is nice and simple for you guys to get that fantastic flavor. We don't want too much spices because it's going to overpower all the main dishes. Remember, the base gravy, you can cook almost anything with it. And some lovely tomato puree. I've got this on the channel. So, but if you don't have tomato puree at home, just buy yourself a pot of tomato puree. Water it slightly a little bit down so it's not too much concentrated. And this is the ginger and garlic. There you go. If you don't have this ginger and garlic paste, I do have it on the channel. If you can't make it, just make sure you have 50-50 percentage of ginger and garlic paste. Wonderful. Now let's start cutting the onions and start making the base gravy for you guys. So the onions, don't make it too small, just cut it a bit thick. I'm going to be boiling this on the base gravy. It's going to soften up. Pepper, which is a half. Roughly cut everything up. Tomatoes into wedges. Right, I've peeled the carrot, so top and tail, and voila. Right people, I got my fire on, I got my favorite pan. It's quite deep, a round pan. So bismillah, let's start cooking. 2, 4, 6, about 8 tablespoons of vegetable oil gone in. I'm not using any garam masalas or so on because we're going to blend it up. You can add it in if you wish, but I'm keeping it so simple because I want to make it nice and easy for you guys, because I've had so many requests, even on my comment section on my last video. You guys really want a simplified version of a base gravy. So I'm going to use garam masala powder rather than the whole spices. Right, I'm going to use my ginger and garlic paste. So 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste gone in there. Very hot oil. Just slightly let it go a little bit brown. Just want that rawness of the ginger and garlic to disappear, and then we're going to add the spices. I'm on a very high heat. This is a restaurant burner, so if you don't have very high heat at home, it might take you about 5 minutes or so. So it's just, for me, it's about minutes. Right, the spices are, I'm using 1 teaspoon of turmeric. You want a nice color with a bit of flavor. 1 teaspoon, these are heat teaspoons by the way. 1 heat teaspoon of coriander powder, 1 heat teaspoon of cumin powder, 2 heat teaspoon of general curry powder, and chili powder, half a teaspoon garam masala, 1.5 teaspoon of salt gone in. Bismillah. With a waft of that. Wonderful. Put the gas down, you don't want the spices to burn. Now I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of tomato puree just gone in. Wonderful. Turn the gas really low, put the kettle on because I'm going to need some boiling water. While the spices are cooking and the water's boiling, just add a drizzle of water. This is to prevent the ginger and garlic from becoming overcooked and a little bit burnt, which gives it a bitter taste, as well as the spices. There you go, wonderful redness has come out. Looks beautiful. Let's put in all these lovely veggies. So I've used 2 onions. So 2 onions is normally fine for about 4 curries because we've got all these, about 3 tomatoes and 1 carrot, which gives it a nice sweet flavor. And if you have in stews, etc. This is a British thing, so BIR, British Indian restaurant style cooking. Carrots, we're not going to use it at home, so it's not that authentic flavor. However, in the base gravy, it gives it a nice thickness and a nice sweet flavor to it as well. So there's no sugar in base gravy. Some people may add it, but we wouldn't. Green pepper, savory flavors, etc. Let's whack this in. Bismillah. There you go. This is going to build a wonderful base gravy, I promise you. I'm going to crank up the heat to a high heat now. Look at these wonderful colors. Look at that. Wonderful. It's really simple. Let this cook. The color's coming out wonderfully. And then we're going to put a boiling kettle on and then cook it until it's nice and soft. Whiz it up in a blender. Bob's your uncle, done. Right people, base gravy's been boiling away in that little bit of water and all the spices and the oil. Now the boiling water. Fair bit of water. This is going to reduce down. Now all we're going to do, my 19-year-old lid, put that back on, and now we're going to let this cook for a good half an hour, 45 minutes, and everything should be softened up, so we'll come back to it shortly. Check up on it every 10 minutes or so, make sure it's not sticking at the bottom, but because there's a fair bit of oil and a fair bit of water, it shouldn't stick to the bottom. That's how simple it is, guys. Base gravy's been boiling away in that little bit of water and all the spices and the oil. Now the boiling water. Fair bit of water. This is going to reduce down. Now all we're going to do, my 19-year-old lid, put that back on, and now we're going to let this cook for a good half an hour, 45 minutes, and everything should be softened up, so we'll come back to it shortly. Check up on it every 10 minutes or so, make sure it's not sticking at the bottom, but because there's a fair bit of oil and a fair bit of water, it shouldn't stick to the bottom. That's how simple it is, guys. Right people, the base gravy's been cooking away, medium-high heat for a good half an hour. All I wanted to do is just soften up all the onions, tomatoes and carrots, etc. There you go. I just need the consistency. The tomatoes are breaking away, so that's perfectly fine. Now the onion should be nice and soft. I've cut it into big pieces because it's easier. When it's cut into small, it just, there you go, the onions are breaking away. Let's check the carrot. It's very hot, so be careful. Slight toughness to it. You want it to be breaking away. When it's breaking away, that's when it's ready. So I'm gonna let, I know you guys want it to be, speed is essential for this base gravy. So half an hour. Now I'm gonna put the gas up slightly a bit high. Just want to get the carrots nice and soft. 5 more minutes, then I'm going to try to whiz it up. So for me, perfectly 45 minutes to an hour is ideal to make the base gravy. So just putting it slightly higher and let this cook away until ready. Right people, this is a massive batch of my base gravy getting ready for service. Wonderful. Now let's check out our base gravy, which we're doing for the channel. There you go. Wonderful. Let me show you the color contrast so far. There you go. Lovely color. I'm going to be using no cream, so it's going to be vegan friendly. There you go. Now let's turn the gas off. It's been a good 40 minutes or so. Now like I said, I would, if I got more time, well I have more time, but I know you guys want it to be, speed is the essence. So this is about 35-40 minutes and everything's nice and soft, and now we're going to whiz it up on the blender. Turn the gas off, let it cool down. If you're using a stick blender, this is perfect. What I'm going to do is put it on somewhere nice and safe, like a little bucket, and then whiz it up. So in the restaurant, we have so many of these buckets. So this is the 5 kg yogurt bucket. We use loads of yogurt in the restaurant. So let the base gravy, all the vegetables, cool down slightly. Going to remove it and whiz it up on my big massive stick blender. Bismillah. There you go, it's all in there. Let me get the stick blender to whiz this up. Got my massive stick blender. Bismillah. Beautiful. Voila. There you go. Base gravy ready. Now let's put this back in the pan. Right. There you go. Wonderful base gravy. Nice thick gravy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the kettle on, just put a little bit of water because it's too thick. This is wonderful. So that's all it. Shows just like vegetable soup, guys. Base gravy done. The gas back on. Bismillah. Wonderful. There you go. It can't be too thin, too runny, but slight little thickness to it. Like this, as you can see. This is perfect. Wonderful looking gravy, fantastic color, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing flavor for you guys. So this base gravy needs to be nice and neutral. You can use it on most of the curries, even on a korma. It's got slight little chili powder to it, which gives it the flavor. It's got enough salt and enough of those mixed powders, etc. But to make every single dish individual, you're going to have to cook with your own spices and then add this base gravy. This base gravy is just a sauce. So it's the spices, you need the necessary spices to put the flavor into this base gravy. Wonderful. Beautiful. That's it, simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Right guys, so that was my base gravy. Now, I've got the massive pot cooking behind me. I've got the smaller pot for you guys. And like I said, you can cook vegan dishes, vegetarian dishes, your meat dishes, everything in this wonderful base gravy. It's so simple to do, but I promise you, the guys who normally cook authentic food as well, give this a go. And when you're cooking your curries, if you follow my recipes, you're going to have the most wonderful flavors. The base gravy, I explained it. it's just a shortcut. When you're cooking a curry, it takes a good half an hour to build the sauce anyway. So this, you've already got ready built sauce with your neutral spices. And then when you're doing your bagar, we call it, when we're khoshaing everything, we're putting all the spices together, heating it up in the oil with the ginger and garlic. Oh my God, your dish has become beautiful. So in order to get yourself the restaurant quality style of food, make yourself this base gravy, get your spices together. You can cook the most authentic dishes. Just whack this base gravy in and you can have a curry within 10, 15, 20 minutes rather than half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. If you're cooking mutton, beef, it can be 1.5 hours. So, right, simple base gravy. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like what I do, don't forget to like and share and subscribe to my wonderful channel at Latifs Inspired. Thank you very much, and I appreciate all you guys. Love you all. See you soon for the next video. Thank you very much.
About me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.